Carly's ready to go. I don't know that she's dove a couple times, so she's ready to go fully. Kamari is actually just had another injury, so she will be out for the year. So she'll be
Got it.
redshirting.
Okay, gotcha. And right field, has that become more clear? I know there was about 6 or 7 last time, so has that become a little
Well,
bit more
let's
clear?
just get right into it, Kyle. Yeah, no, I think that we have the pieces to kind of mix and match what we need to there. I think it's hard to say that Kaylee Wyckoff's not going to um, be in the lineup, and so right now the best way to put her, although she can play right, she can play first, she can catch for us, but she'll probably start out there in right field.
And you're right. I probably should have started off with this. I'm just so excited for the season, but just talk about how excited y'all are to start the season. Obviously, you've been playing against each other quite a bit. So now that you're playing a team with a different uniform, how excited are you about that?
Oh, well, we're really excited about that. When you line it up against each other for so long, you just want to see a different color and different faces over there. Maybe, although they're going to know most everything about. Yeah, I think we're excited to test where we're at. I think that we feel as ready as we can be, at this time. And so now it's just like, okay, how are we going to line it up against another team? What adjustments are we going to need to make? Who are we going to be? And so I think, yeah, we're excited for this week. It's come faster than usual. Usually, like, I don't know, last week's typically like the longest week of like the season as you're like ready, but like it's still like a little further away. And maybe the snow kind of made it go faster, but we're ready to go. And it's going to be warmer here than Myrtle Beach, so that's always neat. But we're ready. This team's ready, and I'm excited to see what they're made of.
Next question.
I'll go next. I've only got a couple. Although you just said it's going to be warmer in Fayetteville than Myrtle Beach, so now I have an extra couple, but we'll leave that
Yeah.
alone for the time being.
What is they got 5 to 7 inches of snow in Myrtle Beach. It's going to be like in the 60s here, and we're going to be playing in 40 there. So cool.
Well, I want to know when you go into a week like this where you've got a UVA team, tournament team, coastal team, got some veterans and all that. Obviously, you want to win. That's the understood part. So I'm not asking that level of a stupid question. But I do want to know it's week one, good opponents. What do you want to see beyond the wins for your team? What do you want to come out of this week one? It's the first time on the field, etc.
Yeah, well, I want to see how we compete collectively. I want to see what we do when things guaranteed with this lineup and who we face. There's going to be moments where things don't go as expected, and what are we going to do? How are we going to answer that? How are we going to respond? And I think every coach is like, how are we going to show up? Obviously, we're going to be excited to play, but how are we going to show up, and how are we going to execute?
Do you like starting on the road right off the bat to see what you're made of, road trip, even maybe not plan for 40 degrees, but the other things that go into a road trip, do you like that?
Sure. I mean, I like playing wherever. I'm just excited to play. I think that you have to get comfortable playing on the road, at home, all those things. And so,
Sweet. Yeah, just if you could go over maybe just these three teams you're facing, kind of strengths of them. Starting, I guess, with Virginia and Akron, since that's who you play first, and then Coastal. Like, what is there to know about these teams?
well, lining it up with Virginia game one, it's like ready or not, let's go. Let's see what we're made of. They have strong pitching returning in the circle. They have, three really explosive offensive players returning. And so we have to believe that they're gonna, have some really strong young ones and what's gonna come up. But when you're, digging in of like, okay, how are we gonna game prep for the Hiltons of their lineup? It's gonna challenge us right away. And then how are we gonna dig in on Bingham and the rest of their staff? And so they are always well coached. Joanna's done a really great job since being there. They get better every year. And so we expect that from Virginia. Coastal swings it. They swing it. I think they have two players that are returning with over 20 home runs. And so we know we're going to get challenged in that way too. So, we're going in to play three teams that are really well coached, really well prepared. They have a good blend of returning power and pitching, and So we're going to be challenged from all three. Craig at Akron, you know, we've known Craig and his teams for a long time. They're always well coached. They're always gritty, and so that's what we expect from Akron as well.
And I know she's only she's still an underclassman, a sophomore, but Ella, just with how outgoing vocal she is and having had her here for a whole year now, do you sense from her, like, of course you have a lot of seniors on the team, but has she taken on any of that just vocal leadership role among this team, being one of those returners?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that even as a freshman, she had a vocal leadership role, which says even more about who she is as a player. But yeah, I think especially with losing Bree on the other corner and how they fed off each other, personality wise, and just being just really dynamic that way. Like, yeah, she's continued to raise that. She's elevated every part of her game, so that's no different.
That's what I was going to ask next. Maybe just specifics of what you've seen Ella improve on now that you've had her here for a whole, off season and all that stuff that goes with it.
Well, I think for Ella, I didn't know it was possible, but she came back fitter, she came back stronger, she came back hungrier, she's works even harder, and she has a year of college softball, and just like the maturity and this just being more seasoned. She has all of those things, and so uh, I'm excited to see what she does this year. She is in a really great spot, and she's going to hold it down at third. She's incredible there. We're going to see her hit with more power. She's such a complete hitter anyway, but we're going to see her exert her will a little bit more. I'm excited to see this version of Ella McDowell.
And I'm curious with y'all, how do y'all handle, I mean, of course, in the preseason, all these things come out, like, preseason SEC finish, player rankings, etc. There's all this stuff coming at y'all. How do y'all handle that type of maybe outside noise? Is it something y'all listen to at all? Is it, I don't know. And there's a lot coming at you though.
You've been around me enough to know we don't listen to it at all. I think that anytime any one person or your team is recognized, it's a compliment. So it's a compliment, but this team hasn't done anything yet, and these players haven't done anything yet this year, and they know that. And so I think we look at the preseason rankings, and we're like, okay, cool. Like, we expect to be up there. That's why they came here. That's why they signed to play at Arkansas. We are expected to be considered a top program. And then I think when you start seeing I think all of our players are really good. Like, I get like, wait, why did they not vote this one? Why did they not vote that? Like, what are they thinking? And so I think, yeah, we're expected to see some of our big players on there. I was expecting to see more. So hopefully, like, this team always, they expect to be considered. And I think there's a level of having a chip on your shoulder of always, like, we're still always wanting to prove ourselves. And so I think it's a good blend.
And then last thing I want to ask is, what makes Dakota such a great defender? I mean, we know she's a Gold Glover, but like, what specifically is she out there, just her strong suits?
She's so steady. Like, she just makes the plays. She gets good reads. She just takes care of the ball. I didn't know where you were going to go with that question. Like, I thought initially you're going to be like, what makes Dakota so good? It's like, but when you went to defense, it's like, I'll gladly talk about her defense. I'll gladly talk about her offense. She only knows how to go one speed. So she only knows how to work hard. And she will give you everything she has on every rep that she takes, defensively, offensively, in the box, on the bases, everything. And so there's no, in the classroom, in life, like, there is no surprise to me being around her just for a minute or a day or a week. There is no surprise that she is really good at everything that she does.
Sweet, that's all I have.
Any more questions?
Oh.
Kyle?
I got one quick one about pitching. So I don't want to ask you to give away too much of your plan, but and it depends on how the games flow, but are you kind of planning on maybe trying to get everybody some innings this weekend? And then also wanted to get an update on Cam. I know obviously, she's one of your pitchers, but you've been repping her at DP, repping her in outfield. So where do you kind of see, her spot right now?
Well, I'll start with the pitching staff. I think you always go into the That's always our intention. We're also going to, like, if someone's rolling and we need to, like, we want to win the games. We want to win the games that we're in. So we always have a plan for who's going to start, who's going to be middle, who's going to be late. We'll adjust as we need to. Our plan is to get everyone out there. But our plan is also to win every game we're in. So when it comes to Cam, I mean, she looks really good. She looks really good in the circle. She's swinging it really well right now. So I expect to use her in both roles. I think that's the thing early is DP is something we're going to have to get multiple hitters going. And so I think that's one that we're going to see just kind of switch or rotate a little bit more. But, you know, anytime she's pitching and the way she's swinging, and she's just going to open up more opportunities for herself. And I'm really excited for her. She's worked her tail off. She's learned so much. She's grinded and she's ready.
Anything else? All right. Thank you,
That was easy.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Rob,
And just wanted to just kind of start off like we did with Coach Deifel. You know, just talk about your excitement for this season. I know, you know, especially as it relates to you and Peyton, y'all had some things out of your control that kind of hindered some things at the end of last season in the Super. So just how excited are you to be playing someone on a different team?
Man, we're super excited, and we've just been working so hard this preseason. And so like when you're just training and training and training, it's really exciting to actually start. And part of me just also can't believe we're already starting because I feel like it was just August, like a couple weeks ago, but overall very excited.
And talking about your defense, so last year, I'm sure you're very well aware, finished first nationally with 984 fielding percentage. Just for fun the other day, I cracked some numbers, and so I replaced Bree and Courtney with Dakota and Tiana, and then hypothetically assumed that Kaylee was in right field, and that average bumped up to 987. So you already know the defense that you have coming back, but then you add Tiana, you add Dakota, and based on your smile, I think that makes you pretty excited. But
Yeah.
just talk about how much that gives confidence to a pitcher to know that you have that kind of defense behind you.
Oh, it gives you tons of confidence. And maybe you're not a strikeout pitcher, or maybe I do get strikeouts, but some days maybe my stuff isn't as sharp, and it's just kind of like we're working to get pop flies or ground balls. So just knowing that if the ball gets put in play, like pretty much almost always it's going to be an out. So it's very comforting, and it takes a lot of, I guess, weight off your shoulders.
That's all I got. Thanks.
Hey Robin, it feels like just yesterday that you and Reagan and all y'all were kind of the freshmen. I remember talking to her for a story that year, and she said y'all had a group chat called the Baby Hogs. I guess what's it like for y'all to now be I don't know what the opposite of Baby Hogs is. I guess y'all have y'all's tusks now or whatever. What's it like being the old ones on the team?
We're the granny hogs, but I mean, it's funny. It's great just being older. We we're actually talking about how crazy it is that, we're the seniors now, because it really does go by so fast, but it's nice to be older and to, have more, I guess we're more at ease knowing that we've been through this so many times, and so like there's not as many unknowns as there was maybe when you're a freshman.
What's that like, as a senior? I'm sure there's a balancing act of like you want to soak up kind of your last things, but you also have to stay pretty, locked in the present. How do y'all just kind of balance that aspect?
I mean, it's probably taking it just day by day, and we know that once season starts, it goes by so fast, and that, once you get into like a role of just weekend to weekend, it can really fly by, but we're just kind of, for me personally, it's to just romanticize everything, I guess, like waking up early, like this might be my last time waking up this early in a long time, so it's just not taking anything for granted, really.
I guess having been someone who, you were relied upon heavily as a freshman, and you have just grown so much in your time. How do you take those personal experiences that you've had to kind of help guide some of these younger pitchers who maybe hit some days where they don't feel their best or whatever?
Yeah, it definitely helps me to, I guess, give perspective, and it gives me like having all of those experiences. Like I think I've played pretty much almost every role on this team. And so having all those experiences definitely helps me to kind of tell the younger girls like it's going to be okay, and like you have nothing to worry about. It might seem like it's hard or it's bad in the moment, but in a broad perspective, it's not really that bad.
How has it helped you having Parker back?
Oh, it's great. We all love Parker, and personally, he's known me for my entire career, so he kind of already knows me personally and the things that I like, I guess, pitching wise and mechanically and all those type of things. So it's great.
And then going into your, your first week of games, just kind of how would you say is kind of the vibe of the team right now? How are y'all feeling?
We're super excited. I think everyone I've talked to is just really hyped to get started. Like I said earlier, it kind of doesn't feel real that it's already our first weekend, but I am just super excited to get out there.
Kyle?
I wanted to piggyback off the pitching question because yeah, it's really unique because Coach Deifel has said this is as deep as y'all have ever been. 99.7, I think the save for the 1 inning Courtney Day pitched last year. But just now that last year you took that step as really one of the best pitchers in the SEC. I mean, probably arguably nationally too. But just now that you are in that leadership role and Peyton's kind of in a leadership role as a sophomore, what have you seen from Lex? Coach was talking earlier about how Cam has really improved. So just what you've seen from all the other pitchers, Cam, Lexi, and of course the true freshmen, Sailor and Lily Faye.
I think I've seen probably just a big jump in confidence from the freshmen that were here last year. So Peyton, Cam, and Lexi. So like when we throw bullpens, they look great and they look like they've just grown up a lot since last year. And they're just super mature and super poised. As far as the freshmen, I think Sailor and Lily Faye are just learning from everyone, and they also have been looking very poised. And when you have such a big staff, I feel like it's very easy to learn from each other. So like looking up to the older girls, they're able to just grow more than maybe other freshmen would have.